Now, black voters came out in force in 2008 and again in 2012, but in the midterm election of 2010, their numbers dropped. That's a trend my next guest is looking to reverse. Orlando Watson, Communications Director for Black Media at the Republican National Committee. He joins us tonight from Washington. Orlando, welcome. How successful has the RNC been at getting minority voters excited about these midterms?
Hey, thank you for having me, John. And let me just start off by saying, since the release of the Growth and Opportunity Report nearly 2 years ago, under the leadership of Chairman Reince Priebus, we've really opened new doors, started new dialogues, and created opportunities that have led to us as the Republican Party making inroads in diverse communities across the country, including those in black communities. We've had a number of successes, everything from speaking with key stakeholders, whether they be the National Urban League at their convention in Cincinnati, Ohio, or rechartering college Republican chapters on the campuses of historically black colleges and universities that are paying off. And we're seeing incremental gains that look good for not just the Republican Party, but for the country.
What about, though, these election laws that some say make it more difficult for minority voters to actually vote? What do you think about that?
Well, if you're referring to voter ID, there are a number of instances where it's been implemented the right way. And we've seen black voter turnout increase. In Georgia, for example, we've seen voter ID laws passed and black voter turnout increase in subsequent elections. So I understand that the perception might be there, but the fact of the matter is it couldn't be further from the truth. But what we as Republicans are talking about
but let me
and
just
hearing
interrupt
from
there.
voters
I mean,
is that
didn't
Sure.
those voters, a lot of those voters, turn out because the president was an African American and he was running for the second term?
Well, they ultimately, many of them supported the president, but what we're hearing from voters is that they care not just about one issue, but about a number of issues, everything from jobs and the economy to affordable and accessible health care, to how they're going to get their children to quality schools. And when you look at those issues, who's leading on creating jobs and allowing wage earners to keep more money in their pocket so they could put more food on the table or put gas in their car. If you look at elected officials and candidates who are leading on opening up the doors to quality schools for our children, it's Republicans who are at the forefront. And it's going to pay off if we continue to share our message.
And so you think the percentage of African Americans this midterm election will be at about what percentage?
Oh, I'm not going to make any predictions there, but I will tell you that a recent poll out showed that 19% of black voters said that they would plan on supporting the Republican candidate on the ballot this fall. That's a 300% increase from 2012. That's good news for the Republican Party. That's good news for our country when both parties are competing for the black vote. It is good news for individuals and families and communities across this country because we as Republicans have the solutions that address people's concerns, whether, again, they be jobs, the economy, and education.
All right, Orlando Watson.